Hey guys, and welcome to the Fish Room. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and today we're going to have a bit of a story time down here in the Fish Room as I finish my morning coffee, because yesterday something insane happened out in the greenhouse. So if you're new here, I operate not only a fish room down here in my basement that ranges from 40 to 100 aquariums, but I also have a greenhouse where I raise and breed fish and shrimp as well as vegetables, and then a whole bunch of tubs around my yard. 18 to be exact, ranging from about 20 gallons to 300 gallons. And I've been doing this now for I think about 12 years, and it's a super fun way to get a really cool sound to your yard, add some beauty, encourage pollinators to be in your area, things like birds, hummingbirds, bees, butterflies, things like that. And I just find it really, really rewarding. And in the 12 years that I've been doing this, what happened to me has never happened before. So each spring I open up the plants that I've overwintered in my greenhouse, repot them, move them out into my various bins, and then I purchase some plants from online vendors generally, as well as my local nursery, in order to sort of fill out the pots and make everything have the best potential for really beautiful flowering growth all summer long. Yesterday I was doing my typical morning routine where I just walk through the greenhouse, usually with my coffee, often barefoot, sometimes in my pajamas, and more often than not in my robe. And I was looking through the bins. Each day I go out there, I test the temperatures of everything. I pull off any like accumulated dead leaves or hair algae. Sometimes I'll thin the floaters and just generally take a look around to make sure everybody's looking well. Well, yesterday as I was walking through the greenhouse, something silver caught my eye in one of my shrimp tanks. Now, if you've been watching, you know a couple weeks ago I moved out a whole bunch of different shrimp, mainly Neocaridina types, your cherries, your rillies, your blues, your yellows. And the particular tub that I saw this thing out of the corner of my eye was my blue shrimp tank. Now, the blue shrimp are very, very dark, almost like an inky midnight blue. And what I saw was a flash of silver. Now, if you were watching last summer, you know that I had a horrible dragonfly larva problem in my outdoor tubs, and my first thought was, oh no, one of these monsters has overwintered in my greenhouse. So I took my net, I scooped and scooped and scooped, and what I found was super, super weird and super confusing. We can see that there's very dark blue shrimp in here. Certainly nothing silver. And it just really caught my eye. So I grabbed my trusty net and I pulled it out and I found baby fish, which is interesting. Now, just for a bit more backstory, I have had a goldfish pond in the past, but they were shabunkins, and it was entirely across the yard, and I don't share any plants from that particular water feature with anything else. And in fact, we broke it down last fall, so it isn't in service. The plants that I get in online are shipped dry. Not wet, dry, in plastic, and it's shipped priority mail, so it generally takes about 5 days. When I got them in this spring, the plants sat on the counter in the plastic in my greenhouse that hits 100 degrees for 2 days before I potted them up, and yet I found goldfish fry in one of my tubs. Not a type of goldfish I've ever worked with. I'd love to hear from you guys if you can tell me exactly what they are. I'm thinking they're probably just a common comet style goldfish, but goldfish is not something I know very much about. So I need you guys to let me know down in the comments if you can tell from this video footage of these teeny tiny babies. So what I'm thinking happened is that from the pond raised plants that I purchased online, I transferred eggs into my bins. And you may be like, oh, cool, freebie. But what I'm thinking is I raise all fish that generally stay under 1.5 inches, or shrimp, and goldfish get way bigger than that. So this means I'm going to have to do sweeps of all my tubs. And what I mean by sweeps is I'm going to have to just take my net and go through and make sure there's not more unintentional goldfish fry in any of my 18 tubs. Never a dull moment, but I just had to share with you guys because it's equal parts neat, surprising, shocking, and almost horrifying that I have found these fish in tubs that have never had fish. As always, I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever had something like this happen? I mean, I guess it's pretty lucky that this is happening to someone who has so many aquariums and spots to potentially put them. But I'm going to drop them in this tub, which I think is coming along pretty nice. Mainly because I've seen mosquito larvae in this one, and it doesn't have a filter that will be a danger to these guys, because they're pretty tiny. So I guess it'll be interesting to see what these guys grow into. Let's see if I can zoom in for you. It's right beneath the creeping Jenny here. Now the other reason I picked this tub is because goldfish often will eat plants, and the lily that's in this tub I'm not super attached to. And then it's just the creeping Jenny roots on the surface. Now if I need to, I can move this lily, but I might just leave it and see what happens, since these are such young fish. Trying to find them. There's a lot of copepods in this thing for them to eat. They'll be pretty happy. So yeah, that's my adventure in the greenhouse today. Also, I wanted to let you know that I will be speaking at the North Jersey Aquarium Society next Saturday. I'll be giving 2 presentations, one on freshwater invertebrates and one on nano husbandry. There is more information about that on my website, msjinx.com, and there should be a link in the description to my website should you want to find my events page. As always, please make sure you're subscribed with that notification bell on, because clearly we never know what's going to happen around here.